Hey everyone, welcome back to Computer Science and Fangs. Today we're going to be talking about how to set up the Tor Expert Bundle for you to be able to use with Python and Windows 10. So first of all, in order to do this, we got to go to the Tor website here, and this is the website right here. So we're going to go to the home page and we're going to go download Tor. This is the URL you want right here. So we're going to go download Tor. We want to view all downloads. We're going to go to Microsoft Windows and we're going to download the Tor Expert Bundle. So we're going to click on that and it'll take a second here. You're going to get a zip file. That should take about a minute here. Once you're done downloading the file, we're going to store the file in a location that we're going to frequently access. Well, first we're going to unzip it, and then we're going to take the information in there and transfer it to a different file location. And what Tor does basically is it takes your information, passes it through different nodes in the Tor network, and then sends it to the destination server. It also encrypts your information by doing an onion system where through each server it encrypts your information over and over, which makes it infinitely more difficult to hack into by an exponential amount. It's just a good overall service to keep your information hidden from individuals that are nefarious or from people that want to locate your identity by your IP address. Alright, so we've downloaded that file. We're going to go to the downloads folder real quick. Let's go to downloads and we're going to go here and we're going to unzip it. You'll just hit extract all here. As you can see, I've already downloaded it right here before. Now if we go back to downloads, we can see that this is what we get here. Now what we want to do is we want to simply double click on this and see what happens on startup. And then we're going to click more info and hit run anyway because we know it's Tor. And as you can see, we've started the program. And as you can see, it's listening on port 9050 of our computer, which is a SOX listener. And then this one right here is a configuration that I've put in here, so you're not going to see that. But you are going to see is where the configuration file is stored right here on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th line right here. You're going to want to go to here or to this folder that's here. My folder is user Zika app data roaming, Tor. And then we're going to configure a torque file here. Now you're going to find this torque file by going to documentation and to the general FAQ, frequently asked questions. We're going to control F torque. And we're going to look for this real quickly. Here we go. Advanced Tor usage right here. And you're going to click on the sample torque file page. And you're going to come here and you're going to want to go to this domain right here and download and basically copy and paste this code into a text file. So we're going to copy and paste this code. And this is just a basic configuration folder with everything commented out. So we're going to store that into a notepad folder right here. There we go. And we're going to save that folder where the configuration said that our Tor configuration was stored. So see right here, my configuration says it's stored right here. It says read configuration file, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So we're going to go to this location here and store this data and save it as TORC. So we're going to go File, Save As, and we're going to go to here. So we're going to just copy paste that and then put this here and copy paste that. And then we should be able to just go, clicking that arrow button there. And you see that we are now in this folder here. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to save it there as torque. But as you can see, you just want to save it as this. But as you can see, I've already stored a folder here named torque. Now, once you've done all that, we're going to talk about you're going to go to once you've saved it to that folder that I just showed you, you're going to go to aligned with control port. Hold on. Control should be in here somewhere. Right here. Control port. You're going to want to uncomment that line, and you're also going to want to uncomment this line. And so this is going to allow you to control your connection between you and the Tor network, and it's going to allow you to reset your IP address whenever you want to, essentially. This password right here is just the hash control password for password itself. So when you interact with this control port, you pass in the password represented by this hash, and it will allow access if it matches this hash. Now you can change this by simply going to, we're going to go to command prompt, we're going to go to dir, and we're going to go to cd, where are we going to go here? We need to go to basically this file right here. So we're just going to go to this file again right here, because that's where I've stored my, that's also where I've stored my Tor executable as well. For us right now, we only have it stored in the downloads. So what you're also going to want to do is you're going to want to go here, take this folder, Control Exit, and then we're going to go to this location here and simply save it there. I think we did that already. No, we haven't done that yet. So we're going to go here, Control C that, and we're going to open a new window here. We're going to say I want a new File Explorer window. We're going to say Control V, go to this folder here, and we're there. And you're going to say, okay, I want to Control X this into here. And you're going to do that, and it should do it when you run it. Right now I have Tor running. So when you copy and paste that over, you're going to want to exit from this program here first. So we're going to cancel that. We're going to Control V this. It's going to Control X, Control V there, and that'll copy and paste it into here. And that's just going to store your Tor executable where your configuration files are also stored. So you don't have to fumble around looking for where your configuration files are stored, where your executable is stored, and whatnot and so forth. So we're going to delete that real quick because I already have my Tor executable stored right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste this file location here, and we're going to change directory to here, and then we're going to do tor --hash--password, and we're going to type in the password that we want to use. So like, let's say we want to use, I don't know, cool kid 23, and that would be our password that we want to use whenever we access the control port, and we hit enter, and this would be the hash that we get. So this would be the hash that matches this string here. So we're going to copy and paste this hash and store it within this folder here, and then Control V over that. Now, once you've done this, you save it, and that's how you're going to be able, that's the password you're going to use. This password you used here, that's how you're going to access the control port in order to change your IP, in order to reset your IP and whatnot and so forth, through the command line through Python. We're going to go to, basically, we're going to go to here now, and I'm going to show you exactly what we're going to do now that we have that set up. And what you want to start to do is you want to come here, come to where your Tor executable is stored, and simply double click it, and that'll run the Tor executable. And now you can see that once you've done this and you set up your TOOTRRC file, then you're going to see that you have a control port set up here, and you have the SOX listener here as well. And you also have the bootstrapped listening, of course, and the rest of this you can ignore. So we're just going to minimize that, and that's going to be running in the background essentially. It's going to be running on its own thread. What we want to do is we want to come to our Python program here, and I'm going to explain to you this really slowly and really simply. So what it's going to require to do is it's going to have you require to pip install requests, and it's going to require you to pip install stem as well. So you're going to come to a different command prompt folder from this one that we already have currently running. We're going to do pip install requests, and that should install requests for you. I already have it, so it says requirement already satisfied, blah 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 blah, you know, all that fun stuff. And it says pip, and we do pip install stem, and that'll install stem for you. As you can see, my requirement's already satisfied, but that's gonna get all the requirements that you need essentially. Just to make sure, too, I want you to also download a couple more things, too. I want you to go pip install requests dash dash upgrade. Maybe it's upgraded, I'm not sure. No, it's upgrade. And that's going to give you the very most recent version of requests that is available. It's going to give you the development version, essentially. It's not the stable version. But the reason why we want to do that is we want to pip install requests, and I think it's socks here for sockets. And as you can see, I've already downloaded it, but once you do that, you should be able to have this socks request socks library as well. And that's just to ensure that everything goes fine for you in the process. And I think that should be everything that we need here in order to get started. So what I'm going to go through is I'm going to go and explain this stuff to you word by word. Now, if you want to see basically where I got this code from, I got this code from this URL here. And the title of this Stack Overflow page is Make Requests Using Python over Tor. And it's the second solution, not the first solution. The first solution gives you a very, very simple rundown of how to use it. The second solution gives you a more in-depth rundown and what basically all this stuff does. So it tells you to pip install stem, but most of this stuff also too is, so like right here, this is for Linux users. It seems it's more Linux oriented as well. Anyways, if you just follow me, I'm going to explain to you everything here, what this guy says here. So we're going to come here, we're going to go to the code that I have here, and we're going to comment out. And if you go to my blog page where I've posted this stuff, you're going to have all the links that are necessary for this. You're going to have all the code that's necessary to run this, and you'll also be able to copy and paste that into your own folder and be able to follow along here. We're going to change that password because we've changed our password to, I think it was CoolKid23 or whatever. What did we say it was? It was CoolKid23 right here. So we're going to take this right here. I didn't change my torque file, so we're going to do that real quickly. I'm going to go to my torque file real quickly. And so that's right in here. I'm going to edit with Notepad++, and I'm going to change this to my new password. I'm going to save it. Now I'm going to minimize that in case I have any problems with it. And I'm going to come to my Python folder, and we're going to explain this slowly. So I'm going to slowly go through all this code right here, and well, actually, I want to put my password right here, and you're going to put your password right here too. So what was my password? It was I think it was CoolKid23. Because we're cool kids, you know. Kid23. Nice. So we've got that set up. Now, what does all this stuff do? Let's go through very slowly here. And so I'm going to comment this stuff out just so it's easy to tell what we're looking at. So right now we're going to be looking at this function here. This function basically gets a basic Tor request session. A session essentially creates a connection between. It's a session object. Essentially is a request object that maintains cookies between each request you make to a server. So that way you don't have the cookies resetting each time you connect to the server again. It also has authentication constants. It's basically just an easier way of using requests without having to reset your information every single time, and having to pass in like authorization each time and whatnot to the server. And now these session proxies uses the SOCKS5 protocol, and this is essentially proxies that you use through your ports. This helps anonymize your IP, and it sets it to the port that Tor is currently running at, which is 9050, and that's the default port that Tor runs at. Now, if we go, and then it returns the session object. So this is just a basic building function, essentially, is what this does. Now, if we go to these next few lines here, we do Alt-4. That's that key binding to decomment stuff. We make a request to the Tor connection, IP visible through Tor. This is we build a session object from our function here, and then we print the IP that we get when we go through here. And this is the Tor This is the Tor IP that we get right here. Now this is my IP. I'm not going to show you this, but you should definitely run this so that way you can see that this IP right here that when you run it never actually changes when you use it. So, and when you run this, every time you run this, it'll change. But we need a little more complexity to it in order to be able to write a program that anonymizes our IP directly. We also don't want, basically what we want, why we want to renew our IP each time we make a request is so that the Tor servers don't get banned from websites that we're using either, because this is a public service essentially that they're using. People volunteer their servers when they're using this information. So we don't want to abuse the system and get a bunch of Tor servers banned from websites, you know. So yeah. Anyway, so we're going to run this real quickly, and this should work, and should give us the IP of what our current setup is with the connection to Tor. And if we run it again, it'll be the same. It should be the same IP again because we didn't reset it. See, we didn't reset it there, so it gives us the same IP. We want to be able to change what that IP is each time we make a request to the server, and that's what these lines here have to do for us right here. We do Alt-3 again, or Alt-4, my bad. And I think this one was commented out here, so we're going to do that. Following prints your normal IP address. So yeah, I wanted to comment that out. That was my bad, actually. So we're going to Alt-3 there, and that comments things out quickly for us. Now, if we import signal from stem, and we import control from stem.control, controller from stem.control, then we signal Tor for a new connection. This is a basic function that essentially creates a new IP when we want to make a new request to wherever we're going, if we want to. You know, maybe we want to make 10 requests and then reset our IP so that way it's not seen as like abusing systems or whatnot. Or we're going to places that we shouldn't be going, so we're going to reset our IP. So it's more difficult for nefarious individuals to track us. Now, we renew the connection. We set a with as setup here. I don't forget what this is called again, but anyways, we use the control port. Remember the control port that we set in the torque file that we uncommented in the torque file? This is where that comes into play here. So we set the from port, not port 9051, as controller. And we do controller to authenticate our password because we're going to start using this control port. And then we're going to say control.signal signal.new NYM. That's basically going to tell the Tor network that we want a new connection. We want to reset the connection to the Tor network essentially. And when that runs, we run renew connection first. We've got to run the function in order to change the IP. We create a new session object, and then what we want to do is we want to print the new IP that we have. So we're going to run this, and you'll see that the first IP that we get is our original IP, and then once it gets to this code down here, it resets our IP. So we see the first one, and we see the second one. So as you can see, there's two completely different IP addresses that we've gone through to this website right here, which is http://bin.org/IP, and that gets the your IP address from the website's perspective. And yeah, so if you like the video, leave a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. If you want to help support the channel, click the Minds link below, create an account today. If you want to see a more detailed version of this, you can click on the blog link below and get all the code that's in the description below. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.